Hey, AJ, the number of snaps you've been getting in the last 3 or 4 games has been pretty steady, right around 25 or a little bit more than that. How much does that help you in terms of getting a rhythm and getting in the game?
It has definitely helped me, just build my confidence. Anytime I'm out there, I don't take that lightly. The coaches and, my teammates and stuff are, expecting me and to go out there and be accountable. So, with my, I guess, reps going up, definitely makes me feel more confident in my play. And, it's definitely good. And I'm looking forward to, all those touches.
You can keep going, Tom.
Is it hard when you sometimes come in for maybe just a play or two to get a rhythm going, or has that been easier than you thought it might be?
It is tough at first. I would say that last year really did prepare me for situations like that. Last year getting, in the game or getting snaps kind of seldomly throughout the season, then at the end of the season, getting a couple more, definitely, kind of taught me how to get into a rhythm without having all those plays. Coming out of college, I did get the ball a lot and very often. So I feel like now year two, understanding that, I'm not always going to be out there an entire drive or, necessarily start it off. I still need to be in that rhythm. I still need to be able to go, even if it's just one snap.
You can keep going. Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah. So what did you think about the number of power plays you guys ran in that game? And your long run came on one of those powers. Is that something you ran a lot in college, and do you really like that?
Yeah, I did. I did run a lot of powers and a lot of plays at Boston College for sure. Power being one of them that we, specialized in. I do find myself pretty comfortable with that play, but I also feel like that was kind of the game plan we had for that week. Some of those runs we had, attacking the inside, that was kind of our game plan. So, we just stuck with the script and, we were working on those plays and blocking up front, things like that. I mean, that long run, you see it pretty much as clear as day on the video. You can see how well it was blocked. It was me one-on-one against the safety, and you got the line doing great. You got Big Dog, Mercedes up there, clearing the way. So, it's definitely something I would say we're all comfortable with, and, we all executed at a high level.
You could have tried to just run that safety over instead of juking them, right?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have gotten as many yards,
Right.
Everybody thinks I'm always going to run them over. So I got to, switch it up sometimes, show them that the big guy can move.
All right, we've got Wes Hodkowitz in here. We'll come back to you, Tom, if you've got some more questions.
No, okay.
But Wes, go ahead.
Hey, AJ, I wanted to ask you quick about Kylan, if I could. Obviously you were in that seat last year as the rookie, 2 established backs. How do you think he's handled that? What do you think he's shown so far, during this short amount of time?
I think he's showed a lot. I would go all the way back to, preseason, camp, OTAs. I think that really helped him. I know last year, me coming in, we didn't get to have those preseason games and those OTA reps. So I will say, like, watching him develop over that OTA time and then coming to camp, and then you guys saw, his production in the preseason, was definitely super encouraging. And, it's just progressively, steadily gotten better as the season's gone along. He's a awesome guy. He's a great running back and, a very valuable weapon in our room. He's just kind of like myself and Patrick Taylor. We're all just kind of learning, following Jonesy's lead and, following the veterans that we have in the offense. But, he's shown, he can do it all, and I'm excited for him.
We've got a couple other members of the media in here, so go ahead and raise your hand if you guys have questions. But Tom, we can go back to you if you've got another one.
I was just going to ask you what you thought of Aaron Jones diving into the end zone at the end there. Did you guys give him a lot of crap in film study?
Definitely not, something on paper that you're supposed to do. But I mean, Jonesy, he's earned his stripes. If it's anybody that's going to do it, it can be him. I won't be doing that, but you know, that play was exceptional. You know, making a play. I mean, he caught a ball and there was a guy on him already. So, you know, watching some of the things that guy does, you really can't replicate. So, you know, shoot, he deserved to dive in there. But you know, that was awesome. Fired up for him. But yeah, we definitely gave him a little bit of stuff, talked him up a little bit, and when we watched it back.
Wes, do you have another one?
Yeah, AJ, forgive my ignorance here, but I know obviously you touched the ball, I think it was 800 times or whatever at BC. In high school, was that pretty much the same, game plan? Were you kind of the bell cow back there? And if so, I'm just wondering how that's been now, kind of working in more of a tandem and how you've adjusted to that.
Yeah, no worries. My high school days were pretty much very similar to BC. Our plays I don't remember, but it was pretty much run right, run left. My senior year, we literally did wildcat. I just played quarterback and just ran outside zone right and left and eliminate the quarterback altogether. So I definitely got a lot of runs in between high school and college. Definitely something I was used to, kind of being the centerpiece of the offense. But I definitely think, one, in this league, you need multiple guys in multiple positions that can do it. It's a super long season. You're playing high caliber guys, you're traveling all over, and, it's demanding. And, 2-3 running backs, you see other teams like, shoot, you might get down to the fourth guy necessarily, but we're all capable in our room. And so, I think now working in, like you said, a tandem where we got guys and learning how to do that last year, it really kind of keeps everybody fresh. And, it provides a really cool atmosphere where we're all genuinely, happy and excited for each other. And I can't, speak to that on every team or every situation, but in our room, we'll have, running back dinners and stuff like that. And we'll, we just have a great connection in there. And so it's awesome to, see each other go out there and make plays.
Stacey Dales, go ahead.
AJ, as we listen to your quarterback, Aaron, he constantly compliments his teammates, right? I mean, it's not just speak that we get in his pressers. I mean, it's telling a guy like Lucas that he just loves playing with him, going to battle with him. And I think he does that across the board. Not to sound simple, but can you just describe how Aaron Rodgers sort of affects the confidence of the entire offense and the individuals, including yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. 12 is a tremendous leader. That's something, obviously, everybody sees his talent when you turn on the tape. You see what he can do. Everybody knows that. He'll be a Gold Jacket Hall of Famer, things like that. Everybody, that's obvious. But, he really does a good job at, I would say and I don't know if this is for everybody, but me coming in last year as a rookie, I would say the relationship that I sort of feel like is like a older uncle, kind of, when you're in like elementary school and you got your uncle and he's coming back from college and, he's talking about all the cool stuff he does. And, like, oh, I want to be just like him when he grows up. But he'll give you like a little bit of advice. Like he'll come to your, Pop Warner game and be like, hey, like you can, do that right there. And like you really listen to it and then you go do it. And it turns out he was right. And so, he's, he really motivates everybody in the offense. And, he's a guy that you just want to play for. You want to make the right plays. You want to keep him protected as a running back, just things like that. And I feel like having that connection between the players on the offense, just wanting to play for one another, wanting to play for, your leader, the quarterback, is definitely contagious. And it's something we all feel. It's a mutual respect. And, somebody of his caliber, making sure that everybody kind of follows that culture is monumental to our success this far.
Jason Wilde, go ahead.
Hey, AJ, I'm sorry, I got in here late. So if I'm repeating any of Tom's questions, you can just say, forget you, Wilde, and move on. But when you were drafted, I talked to Brian White, who I knew when he was at Wisconsin. And not only did he say, AJ is going to be that guy that you hate to tackle in December, but he kept talking about how good of a receiver he thought you would be, despite a lack of evidence from your college time. And I'm just wondering, I can understand why he had faith in you, and now you're showing it. The catch that you had on Rodgers' rocket throw was a perfect example. but how hard have you had to work at it? Has it come naturally, or have you really had to work your tail off to get better at it?
I've definitely, yeah, that's a great question. Obviously at BC, there were times, not necessarily in the game, but, during practice and stuff, we're always catching in practice, swings and things like that. But it wasn't a big part of our offensive game plan when I was there to throw the ball to the running back that much. It was obviously very run based. When I got here, this offense, to play running back in this offense, you got to be able to do it all. And 33 is a perfect example of that. He can pass protect, he can catch, he can run the ball, obviously, tremendously well. And so looking around, and Jamal was here last year, so looking at those guys, I was like, all right, there's a lot more to this. And it is something I've worked at a very fair amount, and something I continuously working on, because like you said, I didn't have those reps. It's not necessarily I don't have the ability to, catch a pass over the shoulder or this, but I haven't actually done it ever in a game. I haven't actually done that. So it was something during the off season last year, and now during the season when I get a chance to in practice, or when we have extra time, I'm trying to, make myself more and more comfortable in those situations, so that when it does get called and when a play does get called and I'm in that situation, I can, obviously make the play. And so I definitely take a lot of pride in, progressively getting better at that.
Tom, go ahead.
AJ, I want to go back to your high school days. Now, when you were playing Wildcat, were you allowed to throw at all?
I have a throw, and it's complete. I don't think I ever threw an incomplete pass. So I might have thrown it into double coverage, and I might have only had one read, but that's besides the point. I threw the ball, it was caught. My QBR is probably through the roof.
So you only had one throw your whole high school career?
I think I had like 3, but they were also caught. But there is one on my highlights. I know my high school huddle highlights. It look really cool.
Well, you got to start, selling the coaches on this now, right? On the toss, throw.
Even better, we'll just tell all opposing defenses that they've really been working the AJ Dillon throw. Watch out for that.
Thanks.
Wes, go ahead.
AJ, I wanted to ask about Ben, but before that, was that a design throw, or did the play kind of break down that you ended up having that option? How did that go that you finally got the call there?
It was a design throw. We were down a little bit in that game, and it was a design throw. We needed a chunk play, and I rolled out. I think I might have stiff armed somebody on the way out, threw it back shoulder. It was 12-esque, I would say. But no, I threw it in double coverage. My receiver went up there and got it. My guy's ball, no ball, and great play.
Good play. Hey, I wanted to ask you quickly about Ben. For years, he's one of the longest tenured coaches now in Green Bay. And I want to kind of understand what your experience has been with him, because it really does sound like, he's a teacher. I remember a few years back, Ty Montgomery wasn't even playing running back, and they basically converted him there in the middle of a season. What do you think it is about either his coaching style or just the way he approaches it that seems to resonate with you guys in that room?
I think he something that resonates with everybody, and his coaching style is, and so often said, and it kind of sounds cliche, but he keeps it real. He doesn't sugarcoat things, and he's a really even keel coach. Unless you're out there and just not paying attention, just not doing your job, he's really even keel. You could have a great play, he'll give you your props. You could have a bad play, and he'll correct you. I think something that really resonates, at least for myself, I can't talk for anybody else, but he's always there to tell you exactly what it is. Even on great plays where you might think, or the outside world is like, oh wow, so-and-so had this great run, he'll break it down. It's like, this was a great play and you had great work here, but you can get better here. And I feel like that constant push to get better, not being complacent attitude, really, really helps everybody in that room get better. And that goes all the way down, and that goes to, 33 and 33 to everybody. And we're all just trying to get better.
Jason, go ahead.
AJ, it's okay if you don't have much for me on this. I'm just curious though, even though you spend most of your time with Aaron Jones and the running backs. Have you spent much time around Billy Turner? Every time he talks to us, I'm just really intrigued by some of the insight and life experience he shares. I'm just wondering, have you had any conversations with him? And if so, what kind of influence has he had with you?
Yeah, I can't say that I've spent like an immense time with Billy, so I can't really speak to that. But, my conversations with him here and there, and just time when like we're in the same room or he's making comments on things, he's one of those guys that demands presence, and in a way where you want to listen, not in like a scared way, like, oh man, he's walking in, he has something to say. It's like, oh, like Billy wants to say something, he has something to provide. And I feel like I'm constantly taking nuggets from him. He's one of those guys that I'm always talking about the leaders on this team. It's really nothing I've really ever been a part of. There's just so many guys like that, so many people that have so much knowledge, so many people that are just good people before football players. And Billy is one of those guys where he speaks and you'll take something and you'll carry it throughout the entire season. Just that one line or something that he said.